Hi, how are you? This right here is the shadow box that we've been waiting patiently to see. Okay, so look how cool it is. It's got a little magnet that holds it closed, right? I'm going to show you how this thing works. And I know it doesn't look much like a shadow box yet, and I was very confused when I first opened it because the window is not clear, and I'm like, excuse me, the window is not clear. What is this? And then I figured it out pretty quick. So I'm going to show you. We'll go ahead and start with this one. Okay, so on the inside, whenever you open it up, you're going to have some little tabs. You're just going to pull those tabs up. Okay, and I'm so glad to see that they protected this for shipping. Okay. Hi ladies, how are you all? Welcome. Keyword is angel. Okay. There we go. All right. You can call me Angel and you will get the link for this. Okay, so I'm going to just pop this out of here. This is just a piece of plexiglass. It's not glass. Okay, because can't be trusting shipping glass all over. Okay, so you'll see that there's like a translucent thing you gotta peel off. Okay, try not to touch it so that you don't get fingerprints on it, but peel off both sides. All right, I started to peel it off earlier and I'm like, this still is not clear, and then I realized, duh. Hi Melissa, how are you? Hey Steph, hi Sandra, hi Lisa, hi Kathy, welcome. All right, so I'm gonna just put this back in here now. And I'm going to pop it back in and put the little tabs down. And now we have a true shadow box. Okay. All right. And I apparently, oh, there's like little, I don't know, fuzzy junk on there. That's okay. I'm going to leave it just as is. Okay, now whenever you flip this thing over, you're going to see some more little tabs on the back, okay? We're just gonna, now remember, this thing has white as the backer, or you can get a brown backer, okay? So you can get replacement ones and pop these off. Oops, goodness. Hi Sylvia, how are you? Welcome. Hey Deborah. Or you can use the brown wood one, okay? It comes with the white one, as you can see. I just took this out of the box earlier. So I've got all my little tabs off. I'm going to just push that out of the back just like that, okay? And that just comes out nice and easy. And then I'm going to set that over to the side. So then you have your white backer, okay? Or I guess you could use that side for the brown, okay? So I'm going to start, well, what am I going to start doing? So we're going to Mod Podge this really fast, okay? We're going to do some decoupage tonight. I'm using an old crappy brush that I don't really care much about. And just spreading that Mod Podge nice and trying to make it thin, okay? Not too thick across this board. And I'm going to let that dry while we do some other things, okay? Try not to make this too lumpy. But entire board needs to be covered, okay? So just smooth that out. And I'm just using, I don't even know. This is the matte one. You can use any Mod Podge for this, okay? We are gonna do dry decoupage. That way we don't have any wrinkles. If you're using a tissue or a napkin, you definitely wanna do dry decoupage because then you won't have any bubbles or anything like that, wrinkles in your stuff. Okay, so this is completely covered. I'm going to just transfer this right over here. And this is the Painterly Angel Wings. Where's my transfer? Okay, so this is the transfer. It's an angel. It is layered, okay? It's not numbered, so we're going to figure this one out together. Pretty sure that the one on the left is the bottom. Pretty sure. We're going to figure it out though. Okay. So I'm going to just do a little base paint right here. So we're using the shadow box. This is the shadow box. Okay. I pulled the backer out of it And I covered it in Mod Podge. You're right here. I'm at the beginning still. Hi, Beth. So you haven't missed much. Okay. Oh, this paint is like crumbly. Okay, so this is metallic copper. It's like a shimmery chalk paint. Okay, so I'm going to get my little makeup sponge a little bit wet. And I'm going to just dip a little bit of this paint. And I'm going to try and tap some of it off because I kind of want it to be not so, like, I don't want it to be great coverage, okay? So I'm kind of tapping it on like that to where it's a little bit feathery. These are wings, okay? So keep that in mind. Hi, Janelle. How are you, love? Welcome. Just gonna get a little bit more paint here, and then we can put this to the side and go on to the rest, okay? So there we go. I just love how these are chalkable shapes. Okay, so that means that they are erasable if you use chalk paste on them. This is acrylic paint, so it is not going to be erasable or reusable, but that's okay. I'm all right with that. I don't need it to be erasable. Hopefully I'm not going to mess it up. And if I do, I don't know, I'll sand it off or something, okay? All right, so now this is the board that goes inside of the shadow box. I'm going to dry this really, really well, okay? I want it to be entirely dry. I have my little mini heat press heating up, which I broke down and I bought another Cricut one because my other heat press died the other day. And I need several things that I did not pull out already. So I went on Amazon the other day and I found me some really pretty scrapbook papers, some kind of vintage ones, specifically for this project and for other projects. So we're going to use one of the new scrapbook papers that I got. And remember, we want this thing to be totally dry, okay? It's not quite there yet, so definitely works better drying it than waiting for it to dry. You're going to be waiting a while if you just wait, okay? So if you want to get the link to get this project on sale, you can comment the word angel and you'll get the link to your inbox. Now, if you've never messaged with me before, then you'll need to check your message requests. But if you have, then you'll just get it right to your messenger, okay? And then there will also be some other links in there that you can use to not only get this project, but also go to my Etsy, check out cutouts that I have available. You can go shop on my website, sign up for notifications so that you know whenever I'm going live, and some other fun things, okay? So keep that in mind. I don't know if you guys are interested in Halloween, but there was a bunch of retired Halloween stuff that was just posted on my website today that is all half off. Okay, so if you haven't checked that out, for the scrapbook paper, I can send that to you, Janelle, no problem. And you're going to love this one that I got, but I'll send you the link for all three of them because they're gorgeous. And I'm not really, usually whenever I go to Hobby Lobby, I will buy scrapbook paper whenever they have it on sale. But I'm not good about picking out ones that I'm going to use in the future, like a lot, you know. Usually it's like plain colors or like holiday prints. But this one, I think I'm going to get quite a bit of use out of it. Yeah, no problem. I'll send it to you after my live. I think, yeah, the ones that I picked out are really pretty. Yeah, no problem, Deborah. Can do. All right, we're getting there. I think we're about almost done. Just want to make sure that it's completely dry before we go sticking this paper on here, and I don't want to mess it up. Let's see if I can scoot some of this out of the way. All right. I think we're about good there. Okay, so y'all, this is one of the sheets that I got. Look how pretty that is. It is so pretty. It's double-sided, the same on both sides. This bottom corner is really giving me trouble here. Not being quite dry all the way. Okay, I think I'm good now. Yeah, no problem, Sue. I can do that. Okay, so I really love this bottom corner down here, especially with that like writing on there. So I'm gonna place this and heat mat first. Okay, protect your surface. This is just a Cricut heat press mat. Now I'm gonna put it just a little bit over the edge. Okay, but I want some of this to show, so I'm keeping it down towards this right corner now. Okay, and I also need a piece of parchment. Hi, Becky. How are you? So grab yourself some parchment paper. And let me actually put that on medium heat. But okay, so I'm going to just take my heat press, and I've got it set on medium heat. It actually heated up to high, but I think it'll be okay. And we're just going to press this entire thing, okay? And I'm not letting it sit. I'm moving it around to get a really good seal on the entire thing. I'm going to knock over all kinds of stuff on my desk. Y'all, you should be proud of me. When I got done with work today, I cleaned my room. I organized a little bit. I opened chalk boxes that I've had in here that I hadn't opened, or that I had opened and not pulled everything out of it yet. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like on the back side, okay? We're completely glued down now. And I think, yeah, I do. Okay. Hi, Wanda. How are you? Now, I'm going to just use my little tool here to cut this, okay? And that's the great thing about this cutting mat, is that you can cut right on it and it heals any cuts, okay? So I'm gonna cut all the way around this, and then I'm gonna look and see, make sure it looks good. But you can also use like a sanding block to trim that edge, but the paper's a little bit thicker, and it's not as thick as most scrapbook paper is, but it is still thicker than like tissue paper. So there's my board, okay? Just trying to think of the word I was looking for. I don't know, my brain doesn't work half the time. Okay, now here's what we're gonna do, because this is the angel, okay? And I didn't even pull out paste, so let me do that too, because my goodness, I am not thinking. Okay, now, you know, I think that's a bad choice. I was gonna just do black, but why do I do black for everything? I don't know. Hi, Gwen. How are you? Okay, so let's see. Now, I have my transfer here. I am gonna cut this. I'm not gonna cut the backer sheet though. I'm gonna just pull it up right in the middle right there. and cut down that center line to make it easier, okay, for me to mess with this thing. Now, I'm pretty sure that this one over here is going to be our first layer. So, first of all, first things first, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing, y'all. I don't know what I was thinking I'm doing. I gotta move some stuff around because this, I cleaned all my squeegees and stuff, and now it's all in this bowl, and the bowl's overflowing. So surface wax is super important whenever you are using paste or transfer on paper, okay? Now, I don't want you to go overboard with wax, because if you do, and I get this question all the time, if you do go overboard with wax, your paste is not going to stick, okay? Your transfer may not even stick, but your paste is going to peel up whenever you pull up that transfer. Hi, Patsy, how are you? And you don't want that, okay? I don't want that for you. So go lightly with the wax whenever you put it on, okay? Don't go crazy with it. And fuzz really well, okay? And, you know, you're going to know if you mess it up because you're going to peel up your paper, all right? So I want you to fuzz a couple of times. And if it's an old transfer, you may not have to fuzz that much, okay? But this one is literally brand new. You can comment the word angel, by the way, to get the stuff to make this. And I can send you the link to my scrapbook paper find that I found on Amazon. Hi, Barbara. Yay! You're so welcome. I'm so happy to hear that you got it. That's great news. Okay, so just fuzzing a couple of times here. And let me put that to the side so I can pull it off. Now, this whole angel is not going to fit on here. I knew this going in, okay? But I want the wings to fit. And I need to remember that I have the wings here, okay? So I'm going to put the wings down on this, but the actual wings, we're going to do this transfer on those wings, okay? So keep that in mind while we're working on this. Now, yeah, okay. You know, I'm rethinking myself here because she's kind of, I don't know how far the overhang is. And I don't want to go, let me see. I'm just looking to see how far this little overhang is right here because I don't want to go too far. And because those cutouts have to sit in here. Okay, so I'm trying to keep that in mind while I'm doing this. And also not have the line from the edge of the transfer over here be, I don't want it to be seen, okay, whenever I put this in the frame. Hi, Marie, how are you, love? Okay, so make sure that you get any little pieces out from underneath your transfer. As usual, I have all kinds of crap on my desk that gets in my transfers. Just make sure that you press it down really well and that you don't have an issue. We're going to use Shimmer Gold. And I'm hoping this is going to be really cool looking. I haven't thought too much about this today, but we're going to try it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and cover this entire thing. Now, you could do this differently if you like, okay? You don't have to do this the same way I'm doing it, either with or without scrapbook paper, but I thought that it would be kind of cool looking for the scrapbook paper to show through just a little. And this transfer is going to give us that effect, okay? So yeah, it is. On parts, not on the whole thing. Some of it obviously is going to be covered up with paste, and that's okay too. Okay? But we want to get her entire outline and the outline of the wings so that we have good placement for the wings whenever we go to put them down, okay? All right. So if you haven't gotten this transfer yet, you can get it with me today. I would love to help you get that. With this shadow box, I don't know if y'all have gotten the shadow box or not. I know I've got a couple customers that went and bought it that first day that it was released. But it's really cool, and it's got the replacement backers, so you can go and buy those and do different designs, so you can switch it out if you want to. But this, I think, is going to be really cool looking. I hope. With this, I think this paper's hopefully going to look really cool back there on the background. Okay. Let me just set this to the side. Hi, Wendy. How are you? Okay, now I'm going to peel up real easy, gently. Okay. I don't want to be tearing my paper. And that's just perfection. As expected, it looks absolutely fabulous. Okay, so I'm going to dry this real quick before I pick it up and try to show it to you. I do too. And oh my gosh, I do too. That gold is so bright. I love it. I'm glad you ended up being able to get it, Deborah. The nominee was an awesome color. I wish they would bring it back. Excuse me. So do y'all have any plans this weekend? I know, me too. I love this one too. And I wasn't 100% sure what I was going to do with it. And then I started seeing some ideas, and that gave me an idea. So, really glad that I'm doing this one tonight. Okay, so let me show you. Now, the wings are going to cover up part of this, okay? But that part of this paper is still showing through, which I love. All right. And then, oh, well, yeah, okay. I'm losing it here. All right, so I went ahead and I painted my wings with like a copperish kind of color. Yep. I figured you were going to say that if you only got one. Especially with a color like that. I would need more than that. Okay, so this is the other part of this transfer. Now, I'm thinking I need to go ahead and do her body first. And I'm also wondering if I need to wax again, first of all. Which I think I do. So I'm going to wax the entire surface one more time and just really quick double check that all of my paste is dry here. Gently, gently over the paste that you have down, okay? No need to be too aggressive whenever you're applying this, but make sure that you apply a little bit of wax over top of your paste so that it doesn't pull it up. And let me turn on my, hopefully my glue gun's not completely dead. I didn't change the battery out on it. Okay, and now we're going to fuzz again. Okay, so we want to fuzz the whole transfer. And remember, this thing's a little bit big for this. I do usually, yes. In case if I, have customers that end up wanting it, I can use it for all kinds of different things for my business. I'll send you a message about that. But yeah, usually I try to put in a couple orders a month and get the color of the month so that I have it. Especially if I end up really loving it. Okay, and if I think it's going to go out pretty fast, I try to grab some of them up. All right, so I'm going to just put this down. I'm going to line it up with the angel, and you can kind of see not only where the wings are, but kind of where the lines on her arms and stuff are, which this is a little bit interesting, the way this is. Let me see if I can. Because I'm a little bit unsure here exactly how this works. I think I got it now. Okay, so now I'm not going to go over the wings, but I am going to go, there's kind of a spot up here on the top that I want to do, and I'm going to go over her entire body, okay? And I'm tempted to not use gold, but I'm going to anyway. Okay, so I'm going to avoid the wings because we're going to do the wings on the cutouts, okay? But just her face and arms and along her dress. And hopefully this is going to turn out. I'm a little concerned now that I've used the same color, but we're going to try. See how we do, okay? And then up here at the top, there's some kind of like, I don't know what that is, but something. And there's actually some more down here too. And over here. It's like some random, I don't know what it is, but we're gonna find out together. And then I think that's it. Okay, so gently pick it up, okay? Please, ooh, that's really pretty. Oh my gosh. That's so pretty. Wow. It really defined her really well. Look how cool that is. That is really neat. I like that. Okay, so I wasn't really sure what to expect, but that's neat. All right, so now that she's done, we're gonna just wax our wings just a tiny bit of, okay, just a little bit of wax goes a really long way. Don't put too much. You don't need a lot, okay? And then I'm going to do one wing at a time. Just line up my cutout. And again, we're going to use the gold, and hopefully it's going to look really cool on this copper background. I think it will. Okay, so shimmer gold for the win. If you have Nominee, use that. And let us know how that turns out, because I'm sure it'll be awesome. All right. Wow, that is awesome looking. And, oh, really, really cool. The detail on these wings is incredible. Okay, so let's see. You gotta kind of turn it. Okay. I guess I could turn the cutout, but it's easier for me to turn the whole transfer than try to move the cutout underneath the sticky. Okay, so again, stuck down really, really well. And get in there with this paste. Make sure that you cover the whole thing. Everywhere you have some silk screen, make sure you get all that paste in there. All right. And of course, pick up the excess, okay? Don't leave it down on the transfer. You're just gonna waste it. You can reuse that later, okay? Shove that into the overflowing paint cup over here. And pick this baby up. And it's absolute perfection. Of course it is. There's my other wing, okay? Now, put this bad boy together. So I'm gonna dry this on here. Oh my gosh. Well, that's gorgeous. Man, this project, y'all, it is a stunner for sure. Yeah, I think it's these colors are perfect, and this background paper is really good too. So it all fits pretty much just right together. Now, I do kind of want to, this makes me want to go around the edges of my cutout and paint it the copper that I used. Just so that you don't see those white edges, especially since this is in a shadow box. I've seen several things. People have done like an embroidery on her dress and like all kinds of really, really neat ideas for this angel. So I'm gonna put this right over here real fast and grab my wings. Y'all, this paint is like, I don't know what is going on there, but I just grabbed some water and dipped my paintbrush in. I got a small paintbrush, and I think this will help. Along this edge. Now just be neat. Painting along the edge. Don't get too much paint going there. And of course, if you're going to do this, do it before you put the paste on. Probably before you paint the front, actually, and then paint the front. But I didn't think about it until just now. Which is per usual, pretty much guaranteed for me that that's going to be the way it's going to be. All right. Okay, I just went along the edges just to kind of clean up the edge so that it'll blend in a little bit and not have that stark white edge if you are looking real close at it in the shadow box, which I think people probably will be with this one because it's so pretty. And y'all, I'm pretty sure that I nailed this project. Not trying to brag, but I can already tell I love it. And my mom's probably gonna try to take it from me. Oh, well. All right, there we go. Now, I need to clean up my mess here. This paint is like making it a real messy situation for me. So hold on, let me just Okay. All right. Now, thanks, guys. Glad y'all like this. Okay, now make sure that I'm completely dry along this edge. Should dry pretty fast since I watered that paint down pretty good. All right, here we go. We're there. All right. And then let's figure out our placements. Oh. It did die, but just for a minute. Okay. Now, a little bit of hot glue on there. Get those wings glued on. Okay. And then back over here with our shadow box and put that right back in that frame. Push it down and close her up. Super simple. Anybody could do it. And I'm telling you, if I can do it, you can do it. Hi, Rach. How are you? You're just in time to see how pretty this looks. Hold on. I've got some major, like, a piece of fuzz that will not get out of my life. Look how pretty that looks. Isn't that perfect? So I think it turned out pretty darn good. If you love this, comment the word angel to get the link to get this for yourself. If you want to grab some of the scrapbook paper, I can send you the link to it. So just comment scrapbook paper and I'll send you the Amazon link. I love you all, and I mean that. So I will see you tomorrow. Thanks, Crystal. Come hang out with me tomorrow. I've got more fun stuff to show you. Thank you, Deborah. I appreciate that. See y'all then. Bye.